Part 68. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 671. Both players returned to their seats. As the system sounded, it was announced that the game had entered the preparatory stage. The Water Alliance team was the red team and chose the players first. Huang Mao couldn't hold back and wanted to go into battle and beat the opponent's dog head. Yang Tian stretched out his hand and pressed Huang Mao's shoulder. Your strength is the least exposed now, so don't continue to expose it. Wait until the finals to make a splash. Huang Mao sat down. He was impulsive and couldn't stand the slightest provocation. He wanted to beat Caesar the Great now, but he knew that if he went on the field, Caesar the Great might not go on the field to fight. Xiao Fei, you go. Yang Tian sent Xiao Fei to the field. The opponent responded immediately and sent Caesar the Great to fight Xiao Fei. Tianji's horse racing secret: inferior horses deceive superior horses beat medium horses, and medium horses beat inferior horses. In the eyes of the mecha team, Xiao Fei is a medium horse, so they sent Caesar the Great, a superior horse, to secure 1 point first. Why, isn't that yellow-haired very arrogant? Why doesn't he go on stage, but sends you, a weakling, to the stage? Caesar the Great grinned. Damn, that beast. The yellow-haired man frowned and stood up excitedly. Facing Caesar the Great's provocation, Xiao Fei remained calm and smiled. Big Blackie, don't brag. If our young master Huang goes on stage, you probably won't dare to fight. Caesar the Great's face changed, and his gaze towards Xiao Fei became cold. Nigh to death. The yellow-haired man was very angry, but Xiao Fei raised his hand, which immediately made him feel very happy. He sat down leisurely and watched the game seriously. Haha, Fei Shen is really good at talking. He stopped that black man with just one sentence. Not only can I talk, but I am also very strong. I will beat that black man this time in the arena. Countless fans of the Water Alliance team laughed out loud. On the ring, Xiao Fei and Caesar the Great were 30 yards apart. Xiao Fei is a 10-winged angel, with 5 pairs of white wings trembling slightly behind him. Caesar the Great is a 10-winged demon. Caesar the Great was originally black, but the kind of charcoal black, and after opening the demon bloodline, his skin turned black, dark and shiny. He is tall and strong, all black, with a pair of iron hands as weapons in his hands, and 5 pairs of black wings behind him, giving people an extremely strong feeling. In the past, angel and demon players were extremely rare because everyone did not have the conditions. Nowadays, many god-level strongmen have become angels and demons. After all, the angel and demon bloodline is extremely powerful, and ordinary divine beast bloodlines cannot compete with it. Although, the attributes of angels restrain demons. But demons, as long as they have more than 8 wings, will have a magic catastrophe, and have true damage within 10 seconds. In theory, within those 10 seconds, the damage of demons exceeds that of angels. For this reason, some strong men with violent professions prefer demon bloodline to angel bloodline. Of course, professions without explosive power but only with sustained combat capabilities, such as the Evil Wind's Musketeer, are actually more suitable for angel blood. Unfortunately, both angel blood and demon blood are very powerful. Once you choose one, you can't change it later. The countdown ended quickly and the game began. Swish, swish. Xiao Fei and Caesar the Great both rushed out, and they were so fast that they left white and black after images behind them. This was the first time that Xiao Fei had a head-on confrontation with a profession like the boxer. Because he was not familiar with the opponent's skills, Xiao Fei did not dare to rush in. After the two sides rushed to a distance of 10 yards, Xiao Fei began to move carefully, up and down, and vertically. Caesar the Great's movement was also cautious, and he did not dare to rush in. If he was too aggressive and was stunned by Xiao Fei's club and suffered a set of combos, it would be very unpleasant. Swish, swish. Both sides continued to move and test each other, but this stalemate did not last too long. At a certain moment, when the two were on the same horizontal line, Caesar suddenly attacked and punched out. Mountain-breaking fist. Caesar punched out, and the fist wind instantly turned into a dragon of air, straight forward, whistling out. Xiao Fei was startled and quickly moved down vertically. It was a pity that although the dragon of air was a horizontal attack, the dragon of air itself also had a certain width, and it instantly hit Xiao Fei and knocked him out. Instant step. Caesar grinned, seized this opportunity, and caught up with Xiao Fei, who was flying backwards in one step, and at the same time activated the magic catastrophe, with 10 seconds of true damage. Because of the attribute restraint, Caesar hit Xiao Fei with a mountain-breaking fist, but only knocked Xiao Fei off 5% of his life. But now, he has true damage, and it is normal to kill Xiao Fei in one move. Inch punch. Caesar's fist flashed with a strong light, and he punched out, hitting Xiao Fei's abdomen. Kaishin fist and flash step and inch punch. Caesar's combo was very coherent, fast and fierce, and could defeat the enemy in an instant. Most people couldn't react at all. However, Xiao Fei was in his prime and his reaction was as fast as lightning. In a flash, Xiao Fei's pupils shrank, and at the same time, he slashed at Caesar's iron fist, shadow attack. Sulfuric acid. Xiao Fei's dagger collided with Caesar's iron fist, the metal collided, the air squeezed and vibrated, causing a piercing roar. Hiss. Such a fast reaction, it makes my scalp numb. Fei Shen's nerve reaction is really invincible. If it were someone else in this situation, they would have been dead long ago. The audience outside the stadium was stunned for a moment. And at this time, Xiao Fei used a shadow attack, which was only a minor skill. Naturally, his combat power was far inferior to Caesar's punch, and he was directly knocked out. Fortunately, Xiao Fei countered with a move, which also made Caesar's punch lose power. At this time, Xiao Fei was already at low health, but fortunately he was not killed instantly. At the same time, the shadow attack effect was activated, and Xiao Fei's figure flew backwards again, and suddenly moved, and the afterimage rolled, and swept behind Caesar at a speed second only to teleportation. Stun. Xiao Fei directly attacked, and hit Caesar's back of the head with a stick, dealing good damage and stunning Caesar. Light energy conversion. Xiao Fei opened another buff, turning the dagger in his hand into a pure white light blade, doubling its own light intensity. Afterwards, Xiao Fei attacked suddenly. Backstab. Pierce. Sword dance. Spinning stab. While Caesar was dizzy, he was angrily eaten by Xiao Fei's combo, and became low health. Xiao Fei himself is a squishy character, and now he is at the level of a 10-winged angel, with only 100 trillion health. His combo can kill squishy characters instantly. Unfortunately, Caesar the Great is not squishy, and has 800 trillion health. Xiao Fei's combo can only reduce his health to a residual amount, but cannot kill him instantly. Thousand Shadows kill. When Caesar the Great recovers from the dizziness, Xiao Fei uses a big move to finish, and his body flashes quickly, leaving a series of afterimages, all of which attack with him, killing everything within a 10-yard radius. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 672. This Thousand Shadows absolute kill is a large-scale multi-stage output skill. To put it bluntly, it is a multi-stage group attack skill. However, the damage of Thousand Shadows absolute kill against one enemy is not high. Xiao Fei himself and countless afterimages attacked frantically within a 10-yard range, but unfortunately most of them attacked the air, and rarely attack Caesar the Great. The skill of Thousand Shadows absolute kill is in this mode. Once released, Xiao Fei himself cannot control the target of attack. Because of this, Xiao Fei finished his move and fell in the distance, but still failed to take Caesar the Great away. At this time, Caesar the Great's residual blood became a little blood, with only a little blood skin left. At this time, Xiao Fei's situation was not good either, he also had residual blood. Now, both of them have come to an awkward state, and the remaining blood volume will be cold if they only bear one attack from the other party. Damn it, as a superior horse of the mecha team, Caesar the Great was forced to such a state by the other party. He felt uncomfortable as if he had eaten shit, and his face became distorted. Then, he rushed towards Xiaofei again, but his movement became more cautious. After all, he only had a little blood left now. If Xiaofei touched him, he might die. In such a situation, he could not afford to make any rash advances. Seeing Caesar rushing over, Xiaofei did not want to fight him head-on and kept retreating. At the same time, he also shot darts one after another, attacking Caesar from a distance. This dart is also a consumable. In a regular PK field, consumables cannot be used, but Xiaofei is an assassin, and throwing darts is his skill, so of course he can use it. Swish, swish, swish. Xiaofei's hit rate of throwing darts is not high. Occasionally, the damage is also very low, and it is impossible to take away Caesar's blood. But Caesar's blood is still decreasing, which is also an ironclad fact. As time passed, Caesar became more and more panicked, and his movements made mistakes continuously. In the end, he was tortured to death by Xiaofei's very patient darts. In the first game, the player who changed his ways won, and the Water Alliance team got 1 point. The system sounded, announcing the result of the game. There was a commotion and booing in the audience outside the stadium. Many fans of the mecha team could not hide their disappointment. After all, you, Caesar, are the top horse of the mecha team. Now you have lost to the middle horse of the Water Alliance team. So what chance does the mecha team have of winning against the Water Alliance team? As for the fans of the Water Alliance team, it was completely the opposite. They raised their arms and cheered, completely overwhelming the mecha team and the fans of the team in terms of momentum. Next, Qin Yulangling went on the court, defeated his opponent, and took the lead in taking an absolute advantage of 3 points. When Qin Yulangling went on the court, if Super went on the court, he might have scored a point. But he did not go on the court, as if he was waiting for an opponent. In the fourth game, Huang Mao went on the court, and Super still did not go on the court, so he sent out an ordinary strong man. The result is obvious. Huang Mao won and got another point. Because his opponent was too weak, he did not reveal any strength. In the fifth game, Yang Tian came on the court, and Super finally couldn't help but go on the court. At this time, the fans of the mecha team outside the court finally got a little excited after continuous disappointment. In their opinion, if Super defeated Yang Tian, and Super faced 5 people in the second round of the ring points game, the mecha team might still win. At this time, they had put all their last hopes on Super. Muddy water, this game between us is the final, isn't it? Super talked freely. You overestimate yourself. Yang Tian shook his head and laughed. Huh, feeling the deep disdain in Yang Tian's words, Super frowned and was furious. Soon the countdown ended and the game began. Swish. Super waved his hand, and a huge summoning array appeared beside him, and then a 5-meter-high mecha appeared. It was a red humanoid mecha, holding an energy lightsaber in his right hand and an energy shield in his left hand, looking extremely powerful. Snap! I saw Super snap his fingers in a chic manner, and the hatch on the chest of the mecha opened. Super jumped into the hatch and sat firmly on the control panel. The hatch closed immediately, and there was only a mecha warrior controlled by Super on the other side. At that moment, an angel halo appeared above the mecha warrior's head, and 5 pairs of angel wings grew behind him. Because Super has a special profession, he has no weapons, so this mecha is his weapon, but the presentation method is different from that of ordinary weapons. On the other side, Yang Tian also summoned 5 bone dragons at this time. I saw the 5 bone dragons roar, and suddenly, a gloomy, terrifying atmosphere swept the whole scene. Now, Yang Tian is already a second-level god realm. The strongest undead under his command, the Lich King and the Bone Dragon, are both second-level beast summons, and they are extremely powerful. At this time, these 5 bone dragons blessed Yang Tian with dark strength, armor penetration, critical hit, and critical damage attributes, and the combat power was off the charts. Dark Fire Domain. Darkness is coming. Yang Tian waved his hands repeatedly and released 2 environmental magics, making the entire arena shrouded in darkness, and the yin energy suddenly emerged. Super was affected by this environment, and his dark resistance dropped by 20,000 in an instant, which invisibly increased the damage of the bone dragon. Heh, Honguo is so arrogant. He wants to solve Super with only the undead? But this is impossible. In the VIP seat, Rongjuan crossed his arms and looked at the ring. He guessed Yang Tian's intention and couldn't help but sneered. He didn't mean that Yang Tian's 5 bone dragons were not strong, but that their movement speed was not enough and they couldn't stop Super at all. After all, Super was a 10-winged angel with the bloodline of a 10-winged angel. His movement speed was at 150%, which was much faster than that of ordinary second-level gods and ordinary second-level beasts. Kill. Capture the king first. The weakness of the summoner is the summoner himself, and Super also understands this principle. Directly ignoring the 5 bone dragons rushing at him, Super flashed and shook off the bone dragons, continuing to rush towards Yang Tian. Undercurrent. Undercurrent swung out from under Yang Tian's feet, radiating a radius of 100 yards. The strong gravitational force caused Super's movement speed to drop by 30%. But this was not enough. Even under the influence of the undercurrent, Super's movement speed was still far faster than Yang Tian. Rising Dragon Transformation Stage 2. Ang accompanied by a long dragon roar, Yang Tian transformed into a human-shaped golden dragon, and within 3 minutes, all attributes tripled. In this state, Yang Tian's speed far exceeded that of the 10-winged angel and the 10-winged demon. And Super is now in the undercurrent gravity, so his speed is naturally incomparable to Yang Tian. Swish! Yang Tian's figure flashed quickly, and his speed was so fast that a series of golden afterimages were left behind. Although Super chased him relentlessly, he could never touch the corner of his clothes. At this time, Yang Tian had a sense of teasing Super. His speed was obviously much faster than Super, but he only retreated and did not attack, but only ordered the 5 bone dragons to focus on Super. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, Ba Wang Shi-san. Chapter 673. At this time, the damage of the 5 bone dragons was not low. Under the continuous concentrated fire, the health bar above the Super's head dropped by about 25%. Super couldn't catch up with Yang Tian, so he had no choice but to kill the bone dragon first. That's it. Fuzhuang nodded secretly. Although the weakness of the summoner is the summoner himself. But Yang Tian's body is extremely strong, and the movement speed alone is not comparable to that of ordinary people, and his self-protection ability is already very strong. He has overcome this weakness and basically has no weaknesses anymore. Super has extremely high combat power, and can basically kill a bone dragon in 2 moves. At the same time, Yang Tian summoned 2 more Lich Kings. One of them is himself a summoned object under his command, a second-level divine beast. The other one was summoned by a skill of the artifact Scepter of the Lich King, Wrath of the Lich King. This Lich King is also in the second-level divine beast realm. Why can a first-level artifact summon a second-level divine beast? This point is difficult for Yang Tian himself to understand. Perhaps there is only one thing that can explain it. That is, the artifacts in Taixu have no quality classification at all. There is no such thing as first-order artifacts, second-order artifacts, and third-order artifacts. They are all artifacts. As for Xianyuan Long or Xianyuan Sword, it is probably not only a divine weapon, but also a more powerful weapon. The Lich King summoned by Wrath of the Lich King can last for up to 5 minutes, but this skill has a cooldown of up to 30 minutes. The Lich King himself is not powerful, but he can still be regarded as a Necromancer. Summon the Bone Dragon. I saw 2 Lich Kings each summoning 5 Bone Dragons, and all of them were in the 2nd level Divine Beast realm. Super had just killed 2 Bone Dragons, and in the blink of an eye 10 more Bone Dragons came to attack him. He couldn't help but be horrified. Facing the simultaneous fire attacks of more than a dozen Bone Dragons, it was impossible for the Super to withstand it. After a while, the mecha exploded. Super came out of the mecha with only half health left. And as a mecha warrior, he cannot use any skills without a mecha. He was very weak at this time and was taken away by the Bone Dragons in a wave. At the end of the 5th game, the Muddy Water players won, and the Water Alliance team gained 1 point. The first round of the arena finals is over. Congratulations to the Water Alliance team for leading the Mecha Team 5-0. The system sounded, and the audience outside the venue was filled with excitement. The strength of the Mecha team is still not enough. The loss is embarrassing, and it is even more difficult to force out the strength of Muddy Waters. This is really regrettable. Feng Zhuan couldn't help but sigh, and at the same time he was afraid. Not being able to see Yang Tian's true strength, he was unsure of what he was capable of, so of course he was wary. Next, the second round of the arena points competition. Yang Tian was like a cannon, winning 1 versus 5. As a result, the Water League team defeated the Mecha team 10-0 and successfully advanced to the semi-finals. Such strong results are breathtaking. Finally, the top 4, Brother Shui is awesome. The Water League team is awesome and will win the World Championship. The Water League team's impressive results have made countless fans excited. Post-game handshake session. The so-called friendship first, competition second. The two sides shook hands. Although the Mecha team was defeated, felt unhappy, and looked ugly, they still had to accept the winner's handshake. Next, the Mecha team exited. However, Team Water Alliance did not leave the stage, and at the invitation of the host, Team Beauty, Team Ninja, and Team King also appeared one after another. First of all, let us congratulate the birth of the top 4 in the world, the host applauded, stirring up the atmosphere. Suddenly, there was thunderous applause and deafening cheers. The next semi-finals will start on August 20th. The big screen will scroll. Let's take a look at the list and order of the duels first, the host said. There were a total of 8 large screens in the arena, which started scrolling at the same time. All the spectators were attentive, staring at the screens. Even the top 4 players were staring at the screen. After all, the opponent in this game was also very important. Taking the Velvet Suit as an example, he definitely didn't want to encounter the Water Alliance team in advance, nor did he want to encounter the Ninja team. He is a little afraid of the Water Alliance team, but he is not afraid of the Ninja team at all. However, the Ninja team is also very powerful. It will definitely be hard for the Beauty team to defeat the Ninja team, and he will have to take action personally, and his strength will be exposed by then. Before Yang Tian's true strength was discovered, his own strength was exposed first, which would definitely be unpleasant. Many contestants were staring at the screen with anticipation in their hearts. The big screen scrolls for a few seconds, but for them, it is an extremely long time. Finally, the big screen picture was frozen, and the duel list and order were released. The first game of the semi-finals will be at 2 p.m. on August 20th, Team Beauty vs Team Ninja. The second game of the semi-finals will be at 2 p.m. on August 21st, Team Water Alliance vs Team King. The third place competition will be held at 10 a.m. on August 22nd. The duel list is to be determined. The two defeated teams in the semi-finals will compete for third place, the winner will take third place, and the loser will take third place. World Finals, August 22nd at 2 p.m., duel list to be determined. The two winning teams in the semi-finals will compete for the championship, the winner will be the champion, and the loser will be the runner-up. Feng Zhuang let out a long breath and laughed at himself. It seems that my luck is a little worse after all. Ninja Sentai. For the ninja team, this time their luck was not good. They certainly hoped that the beauty team would fight against the Water Alliance team. And now, the battle between them and the beauty team, whether they win or lose, is to help the Water Alliance team pave the way. It would be fine if they won, but if they lost, the beauty team's strength would be exposed, which would be a wedding dress for the Water Alliance team. No matter what, we must win against the beauty team, Hokage Kai growled. At this point, it is useless to think too much. If they win, they can still compete for the World Championship, which is better than losing. Next, for all the players of the world's top 4 teams, there will be a few days of rest. Some players continue to strengthen their practice. Others relax and adjust their state. During those days, Yang Tian stayed with his parents and helped them level up. As for the Snow Wolf King Xiaobai, Yang Tian had already brought him to the maximum level of 200, and consumed many spiritual essences, immortal spirits, and divine natures to help him achieve the position of a divine beast. This is because the upgrade of battle pets is much faster than that of players. Suan Wuo, Tank Shi, Ben Li Bao, and Snow Wolf King, Yang Tian has a total of 4 battle pets under his command. Yang Tian has not treated them badly, and they are all level 200 beasts now. In the game, Yang Tian can only summon 1 battle pet to fight at the same time. But in reality, in the future Doomsday, there is no such restriction, and Yang Tian can summon them all. First level beasts can also continue to advance. By devouring and refining the bloodline godhood, a certain energy can be accumulated, and once the energy is full, it can be advanced. If a first level beast wants to be cultivated into a third level beast, it must consume a lot of resources. Yang Tian is not sure that he can cultivate all 4 pets into third level beasts within a year, so he will give priority to cultivating Suan Wuo. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 674. Xiao Tian, we have watched your recent competition. I didn't expect our son to be so promising. He may even win a world championship for the country, Wang Jing suddenly said. Tian'er, you are more than 100 times better than your father. I am really proud to have such a promising son like you. Yang Donglei was also very excited. Mom and Dad, that kind of glory is only temporary. Only becoming a hero who protects the earth is the eternal glory. Don't worry, Mom and Dad, one day, your son will make you feel truly proud and proud. Yang Tian smiled. Yang Donglei sighed secretly, and Wang Jing shed tears secretly. What is a hero? It is the kind of person who always appears in times of crisis, resists strong enemies, and sacrifices himself for others. Only such people are worthy of the word hero. Heroes are undoubtedly great, but they are also lonely and painful. In front of people, they have no tears, only blood, and even have to sacrifice their precious lives. Some parents hope their children will become successful. But Yang Donglei and his wife are just ordinary people. Even if they have power in the future, they still have only an ordinary heart. They didn't want Yang Tian to be a hero, they just wanted him to be an ordinary person and live a safe and happy life. However, their son grew up and had his own wishes and will, and they couldn't stop him. Time passed day by day, and soon it was August 20th. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon of that day, the game between the beauty team and the ninja team opened. The huge auditorium was full, and Yang Tian went to watch the game early. Both teams have a large number of fans, cheering and shouting. The first round, the ring match. In the first game, the beauty team, please choose a player, countdown 60 seconds the system sounded, announcing the preparation for the game. Kixuan came out confidently. With the previous few games, Kixuan showed stronger and stronger strength, and his fans increased. At this time, he stepped onto the ring, and the fans in the audience outside the stadium suddenly burst into crazy screams. "Ashun, you go to play in the first game," Hokage Kai said. "Boss," Raikage Shun was stunned. "Ashun, I know you want to challenge the Velvet Suit. In fact, only if you defeat the Velvet Suit can our ninja team win." Hokage Kai shook his head and said, "But in this first round, it will be more beneficial for us if you defeat Kixuan." Raikage Shun nodded and said no more. He knew that he could only force the Velvet Suit out by defeating Kixuan first. Otherwise, the Velvet Suit might not show up in the whole game. Raikage Shun flashed and appeared on the ring, standing opposite Kixuan. Raikage Shun has long arms and legs, and is obviously bigger than the thin Kixuan. The two stood opposite each other, with a strong visual impact. "Shorty, you wait to die," Raikage Shun grinned. "Shorty," Kixuan's face changed. "Raikage Shun, I will let you know the truth of being a human being later." The two refused to give in to each other, and the field was full of gunpowder before the game started. The fans outside the field also screamed wildly, and there was a climax in an instant. 3, 2, 1, go. As the countdown ended, the game officially began. Kixuan and Raikage Shun both took a step forward and rushed towards each other. Wind entanglement. Kixuan waved his palm and used his specialty again. Wind entanglement, this is a must-hit skill. In an instant, Raikage Shun's hands and feet were locked by the wind rope and he could not move. Instant body technique. However, Raikage Shun did not make a seal, but directly used the instant body technique. His figure flashed and he teleported to 3 yards away. At the same time, the wind rope lost its binding target and disappeared in the blink of an eye. "Huh, ninja, it's really troublesome," Kixuan snorted coldly. As a member of the beauty team, he firmly believes that victory is everything, and he has developed a good habit of studying his opponents over the years. He knows that ninja is a very powerful and difficult profession. And Raikage Shun is known as the first ninja, and Raikage Shun's ninja skills are the strongest and most comprehensive. Facing the Raikage Shun, he naturally did not dare to slack off. Fireball. Wind Blade. Ice Bomb. Ground Spike. Kixuan used continuous instant skills. He was a battle mage who practiced both magic and martial arts. The elemental mage skills were not strong enough and could only play a role of consumption. At this time, he did not even think about consumption, but simply wanted to force the Raikage Shun to move. As long as the Raikage Shun made a mistake in his position and a flaw appeared, he could attack him at close range. However, although his idea was good, the effect was not satisfactory. I saw the Raikage Shun move like a monkey, bending and dodging. Kixuan's wave of skills, he actually dodged all of them without any mistakes in his position. Good, Naruto Kai cheered loudly, his eyes were fanatical. The Raikage Shun had amazing talent. In the past, his strength was limited by his bloodline, but he was still as famous as the Demon Girl and Miyamoto Takeshi, and was called the 3 strongest people in the Japanese theater. From this, it can be seen how terrifying the Raikage Shun was. Hokage Kai values Raikage Shun very much. For this reason, he even lowered his posture and used 2 main cities as bargaining chips, just to exchange an angel blood with the Demon Girl. The Demon Girl directly refused, which made Hokage Kai extremely angry, and the 2 sides have been enemies since then. Now, Raikage Shun has also made progress. After experiencing the baptism of the Taiguzu War, he not only obtained the angel blood, but also became a 10-winged angel, and his basic strength is far beyond the past. At present, the Reincarnation is only using basic strength to fight against a strong man like Kixuan. And the Reincarnation has many trump cards such as the 8 Gates, Mangekyo, Susanoo, and the power of the tailed beasts. Very good, worthy of being the trump card I value. Shun's current strength, even if he faces Muddy Water and Velvet, I am afraid he will have a great chance of winning. Naruto Kai's heart was excited. He knew that the stronger the strength of the Reincarnation, the closer their ninja team was to the World Championship. The game changed rapidly. Just when Naruto Kai was excited and expressed his dream, the Reincarnation moved continuously to dodge Kixuan's skills and rushed towards Kixuan at an unimaginable speed. Chidori flow. I saw the Reincarnation grinning, and a lightning flashed from his palm. The lightning instantly split like a spider web and captured Kixuan in front. This Chidori flow is not a high output skill. In terms of output ability alone, Chidori flow is not even as good as the lower level Chidori. But Chidori flow is a range paralysis skill. Any enemy injured by Chidori flow will fall into a paralyzed state and be unable to move for a short period of time, and can only be slaughtered. Magic energy. Kixuan obviously also knew the power of Chidori flow, and did not dare to be careless, and quickly activated the magic energy. At this moment, an ice blue spherical shield appeared on Kixuan's body surface. At the same time, a white shield bar was also covered on the blood bar above Kixuan's head. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 675. Swish. When the spider web-like electric current hit the spherical shield, it was instantly bounced off and then dissipated. Kixuan was unharmed, but the white strip of the shield above his head lost 10%. Obviously, the white strip of the shield was the life value of Kixuan's magic energy. The magic energy, that is, the existence of the spherical shield, Kixuan is almost invincible. In other words, if Reincarnation wants to hurt Kixuan now, he can only blow up the spherical shield first. Or wait for the spherical shield to disappear automatically after 5 minutes. These two are so strong. Especially Kixuan, the spherical shield actually has an invincible effect. Reincarnation's Chidori flow hit it, but it couldn't paralyze Kixuan. On the field, Kixuan and Reincarnation fought fiercely one after another, which made countless spectators outside the field excited and shouted loudly. Damn monkey, it's my turn to attack next. Kixuan was unwilling to fall behind because he hated Reincarnation for calling him a dwarf, and quickly gave Reincarnation a nickname. Not to mention, Reincarnation has long arms and legs, and his body structure is indeed a bit like a flexible big monkey. As soon as the voice fell, Kixuan relied on the magic energy to protect his body, turned the tables, and took the initiative to attack Reincarnation. Stinky dwarf, I want to know how hard your shield can be, Reincarnation sneered, and suddenly his body rose from the ground. Susanoo. Infinite energy condensed into a black translucent giant, and Reincarnation became the core and embedded in the center of the giant's body. Whoosh. Accompanied by a whistling wind, Reincarnation manipulated the giant to punch out, fast and fierce, and with a large killing area. Kixuan couldn't dodge at all and was hit instantly. However, all the attacks Kixuan received were blocked by the spherical shield. Kixuan himself was not affected, but the white strip of the shield on his head dropped again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Reincarnation attacked continuously, and the white strip of the shield on Kixuan's head dropped at a speed visible to the naked eye. Ice palm. Kixuan saw that the situation was not good, and suddenly struck out with a palm. Bang, a mighty cold wind whistled out and hit the giant. The giant disappeared in an instant, leaving only a wooden stake in the air, frozen into an ice cube by the endless cold wind. Substitution technique, Kixuan was startled, and his cold eyes swept around to catch the disappearing figure of Reincarnation. Hiss. Kixuan suddenly felt that something was wrong, took a breath, and turned back suddenly, but it was too late. I saw Raikid-shun controlling Susanoo and suddenly attacked from behind him, and Susanoo Giant had two more big swords in his hands. Bang bang bang, Raikid-shun controlled Susanoo Giant to slash continuously, and the spherical shield around Kikshun exploded in response. Next, Raikid-shun continued to attack. Susanoo Giant's attack was not only extremely powerful, but also had a stalemate effect. When he had a spherical shield, Kikshun ignored the stalemate effect. Now he was hit in a continuous stalemate and it was difficult to counterattack. In the end, Raikid-shun controlled the Susanoo Titan and killed Kikshun with one sword. Throughout the game, Kikshun didn't even have the chance to activate the 33 seals. In the first game, Raikid-shun won, and the ninja team got 1 point as Kikshun fell to the ground. The system sounded at the same time, announcing the result of the game. Humph, stinky dwarf, I haven't used my full strength yet, and you have already lost. Isn't the velvet suit very strong? In the second round, he will also be defeated by me. Raikid-shun dispersed Susanoo and landed on the ground, staring at Kikshun's body at his feet, and sneered. Roar! Raikid-shun is so strong, unimaginably strong. Even Kikshun was almost beaten. Raikid-shun is really powerful, he is worthy of being the trump card of our great Japanese emperor. With him, no matter what muddy water or what velvet suit, they are all no match. Our great Japanese war zone is the world champion. Raikid-shun's strong crushing of Kikshun instantly made countless fans climax, and their hearts swelled. Awesome, so awesome. In the Japanese theater, Shun has no rivals and it is difficult for him to show his true strength. Only this World League is his real stage. Hokage Kai was excited. Raikid-shun is a man he values. He is naturally very happy and proud of the former's achievements. At this time, even the Mizukage Lang, Hachiman, and others in the same team looked at Raikid-shun like a fool. They knew that Raikid-shun was powerful, but they didn't expect that the latter was so powerful. The Japanese theater is really a powerful theater. Raikid-shun is the strongest in Japan. Rongzhuang witnessed the whole game and couldn't help but praise. After the first game, Kikshun quickly resurrected and stood up. Facing the mocking and contemptuous eyes of Raikid-shun, Kikshun's face became even uglier, but the loser was not qualified to make a speech. Kikshun could only return to his own player seat in disgrace. Captain, I. Kikshun lowered his head and didn't dare to look into Rongzhuang's eyes. In terms of personal strength, looking at the entire server, this Raikid-shun is probably only below me and Han Shui. And he is the only trump card of the ninja team. If you lose to him, it will not only not be embarrassing, but it will not affect our final victory, Rongzhuang said lightly. Hearing this, Kikshun's face relaxed, but he was stunned again. Hyunbin and others were also stunned. They knew that although the captain of Rongzhuang was humble, he was also arrogant and rarely praised others. This time, Rongzhuang praised Raikid-shun so highly. Prepare for the second game, ninja team, please choose your players, countdown 60 seconds. The system sounded again. In the next 4 games, the ninja team was defeated. Even Naruto Kai lost to Hyunbin. As Rongzhuang said, the ninja team only has one trump card, Raikid-shun. In layman's terms, the configuration of the ninja team is too low, and the overall strength is not enough. In the first few rounds of the World League, they swept the whole team, but now they met the beauty team, and the gap was immediately revealed. Shun, madman, the second round depends on you, Naruto Kai said solemnly. Boss, why didn't you let Madman play in the front? In terms of personal strength, this kid is only below me in the whole team, Raikid-shun asked in confusion. Yes, boss, why is this? Send me up, I will definitely get one more point. 8 Gates, Madman asked, looking depressed. In the first round of the Ring Absolute match, 8 Gates Madman did not play. Now, 8 Gates Madman is also a 10-winged angel. If he opens the 8 gates, his combat power is quite terrifying and it is difficult to have an opponent. However, Naruto Kai did not let him play. No need. In the first round, it doesn't matter whether we are 1-4 behind or 2-3 behind. It can't change anything. That's why I hid the madman. The second round is the most important. As long as we win the second round, we will be 6-4 ahead. With such an advantage in the third round, we can ban the woolen suit, and our lineup is very strong in team battles. So, in the second round, we must win. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, Ba Wang Shi-san. Chapter 676. Boss, do you think I will lose to the Velvet Suit? Raikage-shun was a little unhappy. Raikage-shun was still very young, probably less than 20 years old, with an arrogant personality, but he respected Hokage Kai very much. It was because Hokage Kai discovered him and trained him as a trump card that he was grateful in his heart. However, now Hokage Kai actually did not trust him, which made him a little uncomfortable. The more proud a person is, the more fragile he is, which is reflected in him vividly. Alas, Hokage Kai sighed, patted Raikage-shun on the shoulder, and said, "Ah Shun, your strength is beyond doubt, of course I believe in you. But, up to now, the Velvet Suit has not appeared at all. How strong he is, what skills and means he has, we all don't know. You are at a disadvantage in a battle with him. I hid the madman for team considerations, you have to understand." Hokage Kai sighed. He made two preparations. First, if Raikage-shun defeats the Velvet Suit, that would of course be the best. If the Raikage-shun loses, with his strength, even if he loses, the Velvet Suit will not be in a good situation, and his health will definitely decrease. In the ring points competition, the winner can play continuously. After each game, all skills will be refreshed, but the damaged health will not be restored. At that time, the 8-gate madman will play and fight with the Velvet Suit again, and there is still a chance to win. This is a good tactical strategy, but I didn't expect that it would hurt the Raikage-shun's heart. This Raikage-shun's self-esteem is too strong and too fragile. If he wins, it's okay, but if he loses, he will probably suffer some blows. In this regard, Naruto Kai can't help but worry. Second round, ring points competition. Prepare for the first game, the beauty team, please choose your players. Countdown 60 seconds. The system sounded, announcing the preparation of the game. The whole audience suddenly became quiet, and you could hear a pin drop. Everyone wanted to see who the beauty team would send out first. Most people were looking forward to it and thought that the Velvet Suit would appear. After all, the strength of the Thunder Shadow Shun is too strong, almost crushing Kikuchuin. Except for the Velvet, almost no one in the beauty team is an opponent. Boom! Just as the audience expected, Velvet really appeared. Under a head of blue curly hair, a pair of shining eyes appeared to be extremely determined. Every move and gesture had a strong aura that was trembling. Velvet. 1,000 years of waiting. Velvet finally appeared. Velvet defeated the Thunder Shadow Shun. Defeat the ninja team. Win the championship. As Velvet appeared, countless fans instantly climaxed. It can be seen that Velvet is hiding deep, and it can be seen that Velvet is very popular, and the army of fans is all over the world. Humph, the boss has his own position, and I have no reason to blame him. But the more he said that, the more I want to defeat Velvet. I really want to see what kind of expression the boss will have after I beat Velvet. The fighting spirit of the Thunder Shadow Shun collapsed in his heart, and his figure flashed, and he rushed onto the ring, facing Velvet 30 yards away. At this time, the game has not started yet. Rongzhuang and Raikage-shun are staring at each other intently, and no one speaks. But even so, the atmosphere on the field is even more tense, with a murderous atmosphere. Haha, Rongzhuang finally can't sit still and comes on stage in person. Huang Mao looked at the field with interest and laughed. Yang Tian nodded and watched the game seriously. Although they both have the confidence and determination to win, it is also very important to know the opponent's strength before the finals. Rongzhuang vs Raikage Shun, this game attracted the attention of all the audience outside the field. All the audience opened their eyes wide and stared at the field without blinking, fearing that they would miss a single bit. 3, 2, 1. Go! Countless audiences completed the countdown together with the system sound. The game officially started. Swish. Rongzhuang waved his hand, and a white light flashed on his body, and his appearance changed drastically. His face, figure, and other hardware have not changed, but his hairstyle, hair color, and fashion have all become the same as Kixuan. Beautician, this is a very special profession, which has almost no output skills, but can transform. It is a transformation profession. Beauty, this is an amplification buff skill, which can amplify a single target or multiple targets. Amplifying a single target has a stronger effect, doubling the person's attributes for 1 minute. Amplifying multiple targets means all friendly forces within a radius of 10 yards. The effect is limited, but it also makes all attributes of all members add 30% for 1 minute. In addition, every time the velvet suit uses beauty to amplify a single target, it will have an extra eternal mark. Of course, he can only have 3 of this eternal mark at most. Through this mark, the velvet suit uses shape to transform into the opponent's style and possess all the opponent's skills except bloodline skills and equipment skills. That is to say, the velvet suit cannot be shaped at will, just like he cannot shape Yang Tian, because he did not do Yang Tian beauty treatment. The velvet suit's shape is very similar to Yang Tian's undead transformation, both of which can be considered transformation. Although the velvet suit only changes the shape, it is not a true transformation, but the effect is similar, and both can possess the opponent's skills. After the velvet suit is shaped, it cannot possess the opponent's bloodline skills. In fact, Yang Tian is the same. He transforms into an undead. In fact, most undead do not have bloodline skills. Note that it is mostly, such as the Lich King has bloodline skills. However, Yang Tian himself has the blood of the Lich King. Facing the sudden change of the shape of the velvet suit, Lei Yingshun was stunned, and had a vague premonition in his heart. It was not until the velvet suit bound him with a move of wind entanglement that he finally understood. It turns out to be a transformation profession, the same as the muddy water ability. Lei Yingshun concentrated his mind and got rid of the control with a flash. Wow, beautician, the ability of this velvet suit is very similar to yours, Huang Mao exclaimed. He knew that the transformation flow was very strong. After the transformation, or the shape, it is still its own attribute, which does not change, but it just has more skills. However, having more skills is itself a very abnormal ability. The skills are strange and endless, making it difficult to predict, and there is almost no skill gap, and the continuous output ability is almost unsolvable. No. Strictly speaking, his appearance is a little stronger than my undead transformation. Because the skills of players or NPCs are richer than those of undead, the appearance of the velvet suit can even have the skills of hidden professions Yang Tian side. He didn't know that the velvet suit only had 3 eternal marks and could only change 3 appearances. He is just an appearance, not a real transformation, and should not have the other party's bloodline skills. In this regard, you and I are still superior, Huang Mao smiled. Yang Tian also nodded and smiled. After all, the human king is the human king, 7 bloodlines, this is not a joke. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 677. Xiao Tian, Xiao Long, please pay attention to one thing dash. Xiao Tian, your undead transformation can only transform into the undead under your command. Although there are many undead under your command, there are only about 30 types, right? Since the shape of the velvet suit is stronger than your undead transformation, there should be some restrictions, Suange suddenly said after hearing the conversation between Yang Tian and Huang Mao. Yang Tian and Huang Mao came to watch the game, and naturally Xian Ji, Xiao Fei Long Lu and others also came. Hearing this, Yang Tian Huang Mao was startled, and secretly thought that this velvet outfit should not be infinitely styled. Awesome, brother, Huang Mao praised sincerely. Born to the same parents and raised by the same parents, Huang Mao had to admit that his brother Huang Yuxuan's IQ was really much higher than his. Nowadays, Yang Tian Huang Mao's strength far exceeds that of Suange, and he can see far from the top. Theoretically, their understanding of the game should be deeper, but especially Yang Tian, who has been playing Taixu for 9 years in 2 lifetimes, and now his IQ is suppressed by Suange, which makes him feel a little ashamed. Oh, we are obviously brothers, but you are really much worse than your brother. In order to cover up the embarrassment in his heart, Yang Tian coughed dryly, glanced at Huang Mao, and sighed. If this had happened before, Huang Mao would have jumped in an instant. But now, he seems to have looked away. Not only is he not angry, but he also said sarcastically, "Yes, my brother has super intelligence, and I have unparalleled combat power. Together, we 2 brothers are invincible." With that said, Huang Mao patted Yang Tian on the shoulder. "Don't worry, if you follow us, we can reward you with a bite of food." Yang Tian. Cosmetic. The velvet man waved his hand, and a white light flashed on his body. In an instant, his facial features became more three-dimensional and his skin became fairer. It looks good, but it has a neutral feel, a feeling of being neither male nor female. Countless female spectators outside the venue screamed with admiration or envy. At the same time, many male viewers snorted with disdain. Not to mention, at this time, the velvet dress is used to beautify oneself. After this minute, all attributes are doubled. Demonic energy. After Fu Zhuang put a spherical shield on himself, he quickly rushed towards Raikage Shun. At this time, his speed was unimaginable. 8 gates of Dunjia, door of death, open. Suddenly, a wave of air swept out from under Lei Ying's feet, causing smoke and dust to billow, filling the arena with smoke. The smoke dissipates quickly. I saw that Lei Ying's eyes suddenly widened, his skin was dark red, and white steam rose from the surface of his skin. The angry red hair stood on end, and overall, it gave people a sense of oppression like a demon. The death gate of the 8-gate Dunjia is still one of the strongest buffs at present. The effect is the same as that of Yang Tian Huang Mao's Shenlong transformation stage 2, all attributes are at 200%, that is, all attributes are tripled. It's just that the low price of death's door is even greater, the duration is over, and you die directly. Of course, in a game or PK field, it doesn't matter whether you die or not. The battle situation is changing rapidly. In the blink of an eye, Raikage's momentum became violent, surpassing the velvet suit. All the spectators in the audience were shocked, dumbfounded, and opened their mouths wide, but their throats seemed to be strangled and they could not make any sound. For ordinary players, the 10-winged angel is already very scary, but the 2 of them, Suzhuang and Raikage Shun, have powerful buffs, which makes them even more terrifying. Vilify. At this time, the aura of the velvet suit was suppressed by Lei Yingshun, and he did not panic. With a wave of his hand, a cloud of black energy enveloped Lei Yingshun. In an instant, Raikage Shun's face was covered with pock marks, his eyeliner became narrower, his nostrils became larger and smaller, his upper lip became thicker, and his lower lip became thinner. In an instant, Raikage Shun was so ugly that it was suffocating. I've never seen such an ugly person before. You are the ugliest in the world. So ugly, so ugly. It's so ugly that it makes you question your life. Ah, I can't do it anymore. I'm so ugly that I'm almost depressed. I want to jump off the building. Some spectators outside the venue didn't know why, and they sprayed wildly. Stand up. What's worse, he vomited all over the floor. Ugly, this is a weakening buff similar to weakness. The uglification can be released on a single target or on multiple targets. Beautify a single target, reducing all attributes of the target by 50%. Beautify multiple targets, reducing all attributes of those targets by 30%. In other words, at this time, Raikage Shun's all attributes dropped by half, and his momentum instantly weakened. At this time, many spectators outside the venue were looking at the situation in a cloudy and foggy manner, not knowing why, but in fact, Feng Zhuang and Lei Yingshun had not yet actually fought against each other, but they had already experienced many brutal battles. Susanoo. The power of the tailed beast, 9 tails. In the blink of an eye, the Raikage turned into a black Susanoo Titan again, and the Susanoo Titan was even covered with a golden 9-tailed coat, revealing his domineering power. After being vilified, Lei Yingshun instantly strengthened his combat power and defense, and his power was frightening. Ice Palm. Bang, the cold wind howled and the air shook. However, the Susanoo giant who received the blow suddenly turned into a ball of white mist. In the white mist, only a piece of wood remained, which was instantly frozen into ice by the cold wind. Lei Ying instantly escaped with a substitute technique and suddenly attacked behind the velvet suit. The velvet suit was already on guard. After a flash of his body, he activated the 33 seals and fought fiercely with Lei Yingshun. At this time, the attack speed and movement speed of the velvet suit are much faster than that of the Raikage Shun, and at this time, the Raikage instantly transforms into a Susanoo giant, which is very large. The velvet suit can easily hit it and continuously apply seals on it. However, Shun the Thunder Shadow was not bad either. Now he had transformed into the Susanoo Titan, which was huge in size and had a huge attack range, and could also hit the velvet suit. Bang, bang, bang. The two fought each other, the air was shaking, and the wind was howling, sweeping the whole place. The floor on the ring was cracked everywhere, and the stone chips were blown away by the wind, and the air was filled with smoke. Outside the arena, a large number of spectators stood up excitedly, their blood boiling, and cheered. At this time, the battle between the two had reached the climax, which was exciting. Explosion Palm. Chidori. The two fought again, each flew backwards, and each plowed a white air wave in the air. At this time, the spherical shield on the velvet suit's body had disappeared, and his Kichuan skills were basically empty. However, he still had more than half of his own health, and his condition was pretty good. And Shun the Thunder Shadow was already at a low level of health. Style. Rongzhuang waved his hand, white light flashed, and his appearance changed greatly, holding a long sword, wearing a white robe, standing straight, elegant and extraordinary. This is exactly Hyunbin's appearance, the sword god. At this time, Rongzhuang changed to Hyunbin's appearance, and possessed all the skills of Rongzhuang except bloodline skills and equipment additional skills. You are very strong, but it's over. Glancing at the damaged blood bar above the head of the Susanoo giant, Rongzhuang spoke indifferently, sparing words. Suddenly. Swish. Rongzhuang's long sword was unsheathed, and a violent sword energy swept forward. Draw the sword and cut. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 678. Magic Energy. Suddenly, the eyes of the Raikage Shun condensed, and a spherical shield instantly condensed on the surface of his body. The sword energy of the sword crushed over, but it hit the spherical shield and was quickly bounced off. The Raikage Shun was unharmed, but the white strip of the shield above his head was damaged. What? Sherinan, at that time. At this time, the face of the velvet was full of shock. The Sherinan can copy the opponent's skills and then release them. It turned out that when the Velvet used the magic energy, the Raikid-shun had already copied it and kept it until now before releasing it. Mangekyo, Tsukuyomi. I saw the pupils of the Raikid-shun change, from the previous 3 Megatama to a more complex pattern. At this moment, the pupils of the Velvet shrank uncontrollably, as if he saw some kind of terrifying environment. His eyes and expression instantly became extremely terrified. At the same time, his body swung left and right uncontrollably. He had been in a state of fear for 3 seconds, his consciousness was confused, and his body was uncontrollably making all kinds of inexplicable actions. "It's you who should end it," Raikid-shun laughed grimly, moved his body, and rushed towards the velvet suit. The ugliness and weakening of the velvet suit can only last for 10 seconds, and now 10 seconds have passed. At this time, Raikid-shun was in the peak state, with amazing speed. In the blink of an eye, he had already rushed in front of the velvet suit, controlling the Susanoo Titan and swinging his sword. Bang, bang, bang. The velvet suit was affected by fear and had no reaction to the critical hit of Raikid-shun. In an instant, the velvet suit was killed by Raikid-shun's concentrated fire. Roar, Raikid-shun roared to the sky. He knew that it was not easy to win. The excitement in his heart had reached the peak, combining strength, glory, and indomitable. And the scene was strangely silent. After 3 full seconds, a thunderous shout of encouragement broke out. "We won, Shun actually won." Hokage Kai's eyes were red. Looking at the Raikid-shun who was releasing his emotions on the field, he seemed to feel the same way. At least at this moment, he had forgotten the victory of the team and was only happy and proud of the Raikid-shun. The game was over, and the velvet suit revived and stood up. On one side, the Raikid-shun roared wantonly and released his emotions. He defeated the velvet suit and defeated the world's #1 strong man. Now, he has all the glory in one person. On the other side, the velvet suit had a dull look and numb expression, as if he was played badly. He seemed out of tune with the Raikid-shun and had an indescribable sense of desolation. He maintained this state for 5 seconds and finally recovered. Along the way, he had already experienced too much and had experienced the baptism of many defeats. His psychological quality is excellent. Personal success or failure can no longer affect him too much. What he pursues is real victory. Big brother Rongzhuang, we lost. Rongzhuang recovered, but some of Rongzhuang's fanatical fans outside the court found it hard to accept. Seeing Rongzhuang's emotional changes, some fans even covered their mouths and cried. Captain Kixuan, Hyunbin, and others are also Rongzhuang's fanatical fans. When Rongzhuang returned to the player's seat, they were greeted by the unbelievable, confused and terrified expressions of their teammates. Rongzhuang's defeat hit them hard and damaged their mentality. Put away your disgusting expressions. It's too early to admit defeat now, Rongzhuang scolded sternly. Everyone was stunned. Hyunbin, you play in the next game, Rongzhuang said. Hyunbin's psychological quality is also very strong. He quickly stabilized his emotions and nodded seriously. In the following time, Rongzhuang instructed Hyunbin on many matters. The second game, Hyunbin vs Raikid-shun. Of course, Raikid-shun only had residual blood left, which was the result of Rongzhuang's fight. Hyunbin took over and naturally had an advantage. 10-mile sword wave. Draw the sword and cut. At the beginning of the game, Hyunbin used 2 large-scale skills in a row, forcing out the instant body technique and the substitute technique of Raikid-shun. 12 sword formation. Hyunbin's momentum was boosted, and 12 ice swords emerged from his body, rotating continuously to form a defense to protect Hyunbin. At the same time, Raikid-shun's Tsukuyomi was activated, causing Hyunbin to fall into a state of fear, confusion, and uncontrollable swinging of the body from side to side. However, there was no joy on Raikid-shun's face. He knew that the 12-sword formation had both offensive and counter-attack effects. If he attacked randomly, he would be counterattacked by the 12-sword formation. If he was in his prime, he would certainly be fearless, but now he was just left with little blood, and if he attacked randomly, he would be killed if he was counterattacked by the 12-sword formation. At that time, even if I used the 12-sword formation, I couldn't turn the tide. I was too careless and didn't expect that Reincarnation had copied my magic energy. But now, Hyunbin will win, Rongzhuang said secretly. Some of Hyunbin's current actions were all discussed and simulated by Rongzhuang and Hyunbin before the game. At this time, Reincarnation's face was indeed serious, and he was in a dilemma. Hyunbin did not make any move during the 3 seconds of fear. When Hyunbin was freed from the state of fear, he rushed directly to Reincarnation and defeated the low-health Reincarnation without much effort. Nice. After Hyunbin defeated Reincarnation, Kixuan and others finally regained some confidence. Reincarnation was defeated and returned to his own player seed. Boss, did you see that? I defeated the Velvet Suit. From now on, I am the strongest in the world. Reincarnation was not too disappointed after losing to Hyunbin. He was still deeply immersed in the joy of defeating the Velvet Suit at that time and could not extricate himself. Well, you did a good job. Hokage patted the latter on the shoulder and praised him generously. Although Reincarnation was paranoid and full of individualism, he had made the greatest contribution to the team by defeating the Velvet Suit. Madman, it all depends on you next. We must win, Hokage said. In the next game, the 8 Gates Madman opened the Death Gate and defeated Hyunbin almost in a crushing manner. Both the 8 Gates Madman and Hyunbin are 10-winged angels with almost the same attributes. At this time, the power of the 8 Gates Dungia was fully demonstrated. After all, up to now, the 8 Gates Dungia is considered one of the strongest buffs. Reincarnation defeated the Velvet Suit, Hyunbin defeated Reincarnation, and the 8 Gates Madman defeated Hyunbin. The direction of the battle changed rapidly. The audience outside the venue was excited and their emotions were extremely tense. At this time, the team atmosphere of the beauty team and the ninja team became extremely solemn. This second round of the ring points game can basically determine the outcome. If the beauty team wins and gets another 5 points, it will end the ninja team 9-1. If the ninja team wins and gets 5 points, it will play the third round of the team game with the beauty team with a 6-4 advantage. At that time, the ninja team can ban the Velvet Suit, which is basically a sure win. Because of this second round of the ring points game, to some extent, is already the final. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 679. 8 Gate Madman, I didn't expect he also has 8 gates. As the 8 Gate Madman showed his strength and defeated Hyunbin with an overwhelming advantage, Rongzhuang's eyes widened, and even some bloodshot, his face was ugly. Obviously, he had lost his composure and was a little out of control. You know, even if he was defeated by the Thunder Shadow Shun, he did not lose his composure or lose his composure. Kixuan, use the ice palm well, you only have one chance, Rongzhuang said, his voice trembling. Captain. Looking at Rongzhuang's ferocious expression, Kixuan's emotions were infected and inexplicably nervous. The 8 Gate Madman is a ninja, with the 2 instant displacement skills of the instant body technique and the substitute technique. Kixuan's wind entanglement can force out one, but the opponent has another. Although Kixuan's ice palm can freeze the 8 Gate Madman, after opening the 33 seals, it is very likely to kill the 8 Gate Madman in one set. At the very least, it can be beaten to residual blood, creating an advantage for the people behind. But, can the ice palm really hit? The opponent has an instant displacement. As a member of the beauty team, Kixuan has too much burden. Now even the captain Rongzhuang has lost his composure. He seems to have lost his backbone and has become more nervous. Kixuan went on the court with a nervous mind. On the other side, although the Eight Gates madman was also very nervous, his mentality was not affected. After all, facing the beauty team, their Japanese team challenged the strong in the posture of the weak, and failure was also excusable. This made the players of the ninja team have no psychological burden and could fight with all their strength. Hey, your beauty team is the world's strongest team. You are so nervous now that you may not be able to show your strength. If you lose, the legend of your beauty team may fall, the Eight Gates madman said with a grim smile. He would naturally not let go of the pre-match talk. At this time, although the Eight Gates madman was in a good mood and had a strong fighting spirit. But, at this point, he was still very nervous, so much so that when he talked nonsense, several fingers were trembling slightly. After all, the ninja team's treasures are all on him. If he loses, the ninja team will lose, and at the same time, they will lose the chance to challenge the world champion. Kixuan took a breath. He knew that the Eight Gates madman was talking nonsense and provoking, but he still couldn't control his nervousness, and even became more nervous. Nervousness can be contagious. On the court, the expressions of the Eight Gates madman and Kixuan were more or less nervous, and their bodies trembled slightly. Outside the court, countless spectators had their hearts hanging in their throats, and their throats seemed to be stuck. They also felt extremely nervous and excited. Soon the countdown ended and the game began. The Eight Gates madman opened the death gate in seconds, with a violent momentum, and rushed towards Kixuan with a grin. Wind entanglement. Instant body technique. Both sides consumed their skills. That's right. My wind coil has only a 30-second cooldown, but the ninja's instant body technique and substitution technique have a cooldown of more than 1 minute. I can use wind coil twice to force out the instant body technique and substitution technique of the Eight Gate madman at the same time. At that time, my ice palm can hit perfectly. Kixuan's mind flashed with inspiration, and he was very calm. After opening the magic energy, Kixuan held back the ice palm, dealing with the Eight Gate madman while waiting for the wind coil to CD again. Bang, bang, bang. In the battle between the two sides, under the state of the death gate, the Eight Gate madman had an overwhelming advantage and continuously attacked Kixuan's spherical shield. If the basic movement speed of a general second-level god is only 150 points, then the movement speed of the 10-winged angel and the 10-winged demon is as high as more than 300 points. When the Eight Gate madman opens the death gate, all attributes double, and the movement speed even exceeds 1000 points. He moved so fast that wherever he passed, his figure left a trail of angry red after images, which was incredible. Moreover, it was not just his speed, but at this time, the combat power and attack speed of the Eight Gates madman were also very explosive. His body was like a gust of wind, and he saw the Eight Gates madman punching the spherical shield with one punch after another. In just a short moment, the spherical shield was shattered. Of course, although the combat power of the Eight Gates madman was explosive at this time, his combat talent and combat awareness were more than one level inferior to the Thunder Shadow Shun. If the Thunder Shadow Shun was a genius, he was only mediocre, and the gap between the two was very large. During his actions, he made many mistakes in his positioning. Although his fast speed covered up some mistakes, he was still caught by Kixuan and was hit by Kixuan several times. Kixuan's attack had the special effect of ice, which slowed down the speed, which reduced the speed of the Eight Gates madman. It was a pity that the Eight Gates madman's speed was too fast at this time. Even if it was reduced, he still had an overwhelming advantage over Kixuan. As the magic energy burst, Kixuan gasped and became extremely nervous. "Stupid, why don't you use the ice palm?" In the past, when watching the battle, Rongzhuang would cross his arms, look around the whole field, and give instructions. But now, he clenched his fists, his face twitched, and he completely lost his previous confidence and composure. Of course, despite this, his understanding of the battle and his judgment of the situation are still very strong. In his opinion, in this battle, Baemin Quangren made several irreparable mistakes in his movements. Kixuan did seize those opportunities and hit Baemin Quangren a few times. But, since you, Kixuan, can hit Baemin Quangren, why don't you use the ice palm? Kixuan kept holding the ice palm and not using it. Feng Zhuang was furious and his mentality collapsed. At this time, Kixuan himself had realized that he had gone too far and made a fatal mistake. At that time, he used the entanglement of wind to force out the instant body technique of the 8 madmen. In just 30 seconds, he can use another wind entanglement to force out the 8 gates madman's substitution technique. Then, his ice palm can hit perfectly. He was so obsessed with this that he missed several opportunities to use ice palm. Hateful. When Kixuan figured this out, his magic energy had already exploded, and the wind still had about 22 seconds to cool down. 22 seconds, facing the 8 madmen, he simply couldn't hold on for that long. With anxiety in his heart, Kixuan finally couldn't hold back anymore when he saw the 8 gates madman attacking him again, and blasted out with a palm. Boom, the cold wind howled and the air shook. It's over, it's all over. At this time, Fu Zhuang's face was already full of disappointment. Qi Xian's ice palm move was done without any prejudgment, and the opponent didn't make a mistake in his position. He was too anxious. If you are not in a hurry sooner or later, you are in a hurry now. Kixuan was reckless, which was a fatal mistake for the World Championship players. Vegetables are picky. Substitution. As expected, the 8 sect madman still used the substitute technique, using a wooden stake to bear the power of the 7 dazzling ice palms on his behalf. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 680. Kixuan was stunned while waving his palms. Time seemed to freeze at this moment. Swoosh. The 8-gate madman suddenly attacked from behind. The sound of breaking wind sounded, but Kixuan did not react at all. In fact, Kixuan had lost the only chance to defeat the 8-gate madman after the failure of the ice palm. The next situation was obvious. The 8-gate madman quickly defeated Kixuan. The mentality of the beauty team collapsed. They are finished. The winner will be the ninja team, Huang Mao said firmly. Ya Yangtian Suan Xiaofei and others all nodded. Bang dang. Seeing Kixuan's defeat, Rong Zhuang seemed to have seen something terrible. His body trembled and he fell backwards in an instant and fell to the ground. Rong Zhuang lost to Raikage Shun, and Kixuan Suanbin lost to the 8-gate madman one after another. At this time, the beauty team was completely shrouded in an atmosphere of despair. Several members who had not yet appeared also had a complete mental breakdown and found it difficult to exert their strength. In particular, the ninja team gained an advantage and defeated the strong with the weak, which was even more applauded by the audience. This was another blow to the beauty team. Next, the 8-gate madman became stronger and stronger, and his condition was getting better and better. He completed another 1-on-2 match. Counting Chihyun and Hyunbin, it was already 1-on-4. In the second round of the ring points match, congratulations to the ninja team for winning and getting 5 points. Next, the two sides are preparing for the third round of team competition. The ninja team is leading 6-4 and can ban one of themselves and one of the opponent. Please choose your players. Countdown 60 seconds. The system sounded, announcing the preparation for the third round. The ninja team randomly banned one of themselves and banned the opponent's velvet suit at the same time. Each side selected 5 people, and the third round of team competition began. The beauty team, the velvet suit sat on the bench, and Chihyun and Hyunbin and others were also mentally damaged. The ninja team is in excellent condition, and their lineup is very suitable for team competitions. In the ninja team, only Shun Raikage and Madman 8 Gates have strong individual strength, while Hokage Kai, Kaze Kage Hayate, Amaterasu Saigo, Mizu Kage Lang, and I Love Hyuga Hinata are all auxiliary types. So, under the leadership of Shun Raikage, in the third round of team competition, the ninja team directly crushed the beauty team and won the game 11-4. Congratulations to the ninja team for defeating the beauty team 11-4 and advancing to the finals. The system sounded and announced the result of the game. Boom! The audience outside the stadium cheered. The legend of the beauty team fell. The ninja team defeated the beauty team and became a new legend. Muddy water. The ninja team defeated the beauty team, and the 7 members of the team were focused on by the director, with various close-ups, enjoying the glory of the winner and the cheers from the audience and the audience in the official live broadcast room. Hokage Kai, Madman 8 Gates and others were all excited. Only Shun Raikage had a calm face and no reaction. Raikage Shun is full of individualism. He was too excited when he defeated Rong Zhuang in a single duel. Now that the ninja team has won a real victory, he doesn't care much. At this time, his eyes passed through the stadium and fell on Yang Tian in the VIP seat. Rong Zhuang is known as the world's strongest. And Yang Tian and Raikage Shun are both known as the world's top strongmen. Now, Raikage Shun defeated Rong Zhuang and replaced Rong Zhuang. However, Yang Tian and Rong Zhuang have never fought, so it is hard to say who is stronger and who is weaker. If there is no more fighting between Raikage Shun and Yang Tian, then Raikage Shun will always be the world's strongest in the open. However, next, as long as the Water Alliance team defeats the King team, Yang Tian and Raikage Shun will inevitably fight. Because of this, Raikage Shun feels that his glory and the throne of the first place are still threatened. But he is not afraid. He is eager to fight with Yang Tian, eager to prove to the world that he is the only world's strongest. Raikage Shun's fiery eyes swept towards Yang Tian, and Huang Mao, who was standing by, couldn't help but sneer when he saw it. I didn't expect that the ninja team actually defeated the beauty team, Huang Mao suddenly said. Well, although it's a bit unexpected, their strength is indeed very strong, Yang Tian nodded. Strong as hell, I beat them all by myself in the finals, Huang Mao said angrily. What do you want to do? Yang Tian looked helpless. In fact, he also understood Huang Mao very well. In his opinion, Huang Mao's strength is not inferior to his own at all. However, Huang Mao has too few opportunities to show himself, and he can never show his true strength, so he has a kind of indignation of being buried. Unlike Yang Tian's low-key personality, Huang Mao is very proud and naturally can't stand this kind of treatment. Next, we only have 2 games left to win the World Championship. From now on, I am the captain, and you all have to listen to me, understand? Huang Mao glanced at everyone, and was rarely serious. Xiao Fei, Qin Yu, and the others were all speechless, looking at Yang Tian for help, fearing that Huang Mao would mess up and capsize in advance. It's okay, just do as he says, Yang Tian smiled slightly. Xiao Long, it would be better if your character was more stable, Xian Ji laughed and shook his head. At 2 p.m. on August 21st, the Water Alliance Team vs King Team officially opened. King, literally translated into English, means king. This team is named like this, which shows its arrogance. The King Team has only one trump card, Buddy Duke, who has wine red hair, scarlet pupils, handsome features, and skin that is a bit too pale. He wears a crown, a scarlet cloak, and a pair of iron claws as his weapon. He is a hidden profession, the Vampire Prince. He should be very strong, because he can crush his opponents every time. Of course, that is also because his opponents are too weak compared to him. He has never played a serious game, so outsiders don't know much about his strength. To some extent, his experience is similar to that of Huang Mao, but Huang Mao wants to show but has no chance, and he may have wanted to hide his strength. Of course, no matter how strong Buddy Duke is, the upper limit of the King Team is not high, because the strength of the other 6 players is quite mediocre. Now, the King team encounters the powerful Shui-Meng team, and the audience outside the venue almost all support the Shui-Meng team. Feeling the atmosphere on the scene, the King team is completely ignored, and several players are depressed and look a little scared. "Captain, I'm really sorry. We are holding you back. Otherwise, with your strength, if you add a few powerful members, you should be able to make it to the finals," one of the contestants said apologetically. The other contestants were about to nod in agreement. Buddy Duke suddenly made a move, condensed a blood-colored palm, and pinched the man's neck, making him speechless in pain. The other contestants were instantly silent when they saw it, and broke into a cold sweat.